we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. King now operating from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ford. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw. King. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
57, Mike, 57. Watch the run, watch the run. Mike's 57, 57's Mike.
King from the gun on third down. He's going to float this one deep, and this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Space to maneuver at the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. A big run there by Jones. 43 yards on the ground. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen. It's Kelsey on the ground. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. It's caught. Jones. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This is Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Echo, echo. 51, 51. I'm here all day. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
On 3rd and 2, King. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Second and 3. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
To throw is King. Off play action. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Wide, get wide.
Here's King throwing on 4th down. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
29-yard line. Ready. 51, Mike. Mike 51. Let's set it up. Let's set it tall.
Now King. From the gun, he'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Hard. Hey, quarter. 57's the mic. Rock 57. Hey, foxtrot. 57's the mic.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I got you.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And take it right at the 35. A 40-yard punt, given 3 on the return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on third down, King. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 43 yards. On first down, it's Cook, and he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They run, Cook. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now first and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Back to throw. King toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll run for it with Cook, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Dalvin Cook, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and through, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Alert! Pilot, 64, weak. Monday. No. Off. You go tight. You got tight. Right there. Hug. 55, come on. You draw Corker. Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, it's Rosen. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. 80.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jones. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Hey, Alpha.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Meanwhile, the second quarter score from Carolina, and it's an early lead there for the Saints. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
No gain on the play.
Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. This is taken at the 10. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen, complete. The tight end, Kelsey. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Rosen. Caught by Jones. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Motion. Mike's field. Watch this.
King now. Going to throw again. He's got his man Sharp complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Jim. Go, Mike. Mike. Yes, yeah. You don't want none. You don't get it. Pick up the ball. Come on. Mike 51.
Looking to throw. King. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. King to throw again. That's complete to Sharp. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
To throw is King, operating from the gun. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Second and 9 now. Steps away to his left. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
Put that team on the clock. Mike 51. Mike 51. Here we go. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51. 51. Hey, let's come. Take. Spell. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, King. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
80 weapons. Shit. Check 4. Check 80. Recon, 132 fighter.
Now it's Rosen. To the right side, it's Kelsey. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That catch in his career is number 662, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, who was a wide receiver at Alabama before he transitioned in the NFL. And we're seeing similar attributes here because the ability to play inside, outside, flex out, he can catch it from any position and turn it into a big play.
Now he's got his eyes on 700.
First down, Detroit.
Check. Fresno. Hey, alert. It's a safety creep.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Lions, first down.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Delta. 55, Mike 55. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw. King. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
Looking to throw. King. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll look to throw again. is going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Rosen to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Here's Rosen. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Now King on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Ronald Darby coming from the corner. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. King now, operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. King. And no! It's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Now a first down carry by Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Jones. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, huh? Let's go, let's get this ball back for the offense, let's go.
King throwing again on 2nd and 10. Now a desperate, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 42, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll go again to Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to throw. King. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. to throw. King. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Sets up 4th down.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Detroit, their battle to finish 500 gets a slight lift as they move to 6-8 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
It's the young incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in the imprisonment claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is